Daf Yomi Tractate Bava Batra, page 28b. Top of the page. With the words V'idach ki lo nagach. We were talking about well, maybe we'll go to the Mishnah on the seems almost like a Bava Kama kind of a thing. A forewarned ox gored 3 gorings. Oh, because we're talking about chazaka, we're talking about an establishment. It's for 3 times. It's a comparison. Okay. All right, top of the page of 28b. Requirement for there to be a 4th incident for the owner to be liable to pay full damages exists because before it gores, after having become a forewarned ox, what is there for the owner to pay? Here, once he has worked and profited from the land for 3 years, the land is established as being in his possession. Okay. The Gemara asks if that is so. According to the explanation, the forewarned ox is the source for the presumption of ownership with regard to land, even possession that is not accompanied by a claim. In other words, where the possessor has no explanation as to how he acquired it, should be able to establish the presumption of ownership. Okay. Just as goring 3 times automatically establishes its having the status of a forewarned ox, why do we learn in the Mishnah 41a any possession that is not accompanied by a claim, explaining how the possessor became the owner? It is not sufficient to establish the presumption of ownership. Okay. The Gemara answers, what is the reason that possession is not accompanied by a claim? It is not sufficient to establish the presumption of ownership, because in a standard case where one has presumptive ownership, we say that even if the claimant proves that the field was once his, since the other is in possession of the land, perhaps the truth is, as he says, that he purchased it from the previous owner. But now that he himself does not claim that he purchased it, will he claim this for him? Rav Aviram objects to the explanation that the presumption with regard to land is derived from the halakha of a forewarned ox. If that is so, it protests that the claimant lodges during the 3 years and not in the presence of the possessor should be considered a protest, because it must be similar. And the halacha of a forewarned ox just as we were that the testimony concerning a forewarned ox be in its owner's presence. So to hear, he would also require that the protest be lodged in the possessor's presence. The Gemara answers, this is not difficult. The Gemara answers, this is not difficult. Loi kaj. Oh. Does it really say that? It doesn't say that. It just says not difficult. Hassam. They're adding it here as their commentary. There, with regards to forewarned ox, is written, and warning has been given to its owner, Exodus 21:29, indicating that the warning must be issued in the presence of the owner. Here, with regard to the protest, your friend has a friend, and the friend of your friend has a friend, so that the protest will become known, even if lodged not in the presence of the possessor, as word as it will spread. There is no Torah edict mandating the protest be lodged in his presence. It's sufficient that he hears of it even secondhand. Okay. The Gemara further asks, and according to my mayor, who says when the ox performs its gorings at intervals, its owner is liable. If it performs its goring successfully, it is not all the more so the case that its owner is liable. According to this opinion, the animal must gore only 3 times to become forewarned. It is not required by the gorings occur. Required the gorings occur on 3 specific days. They can all occur on the same day. Similarly, one could say that the hospital he profited from the field by consuming 3 fruits of, for example, a fig tree within 1 day. That should be sufficient to establish the presumption of ownership. Our answer is this would be not a valid comparison. A presumptive ownership with regard to land must be similar to the halacha of a forewarned ox, just as with a forewarned ox at the time when the animal has his goring, it does not have the goring, as each of goring occurs on a separate time here too. In order for the presumption of the produce to establish the presumption of ownership, it must be that at the time when this fruit is here, the fruit is not here, and when all the produce of the field is exit. Currently, consumption of this produce does not establish the presumption of ownership, even if the produce is consumed at 3 different times. Stop right here, and we'll continue on with page 2